Celtics were up 19 on the Bulls last night before blowing that lead down the stretch and losing to Chicago by 14, 128 to 114. And after the game, Marcus Smart didn't hold back on his teammates, saying, quote, "Every team knows we are trying to go to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think everybody's scouting report is to make those guys try to pass the ball. They don't want to pass the ball." Shannon, was it right or wrong for Marcus Smart to say this?
He's right, but he shouldn't say this publicly. And I think his frustration stems from, I believe he's had this conversation with them behind closed doors, Skip, and it seems to be falling on deaf ears. So he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you on blast.
Yep.
I'm going to let everybody know y'all ball hogging. And what's happened in the ball, Skip, I don't think I've ever seen this. In the fourth quarter, the Celtics did not get an off defensive rebound. The Bulls were 13 of 16 from the floor. I've never seen, I don't, and the game was like, they're up 19, I'm like, oh, ain't no sense in me watching this thing over. And then I go to turn back and it's black, the screen, I'm like, what, dang, that went quick. I'm like, hold on. And this, if I get on my phone, I said, the Celtics lost?
They did.
I said, they were up 19.
Yep.
And then I looked at how bad I'm like, hold up. How do you be up 19 and lose by 14? How is that possible? Well, I see how that's possible, Skip. When you go 3 of 20 in the fourth, and the other team go 13 of 16, and they go 3 of 6 and they go 10 of 11 from the foul line.
Yep.
Therein lies the problem.
Yep.
And I believe this is what's frustrating Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart has had the conversation, I believe, it's mainly Tatum, because Tatum got no conscience. Kobe was a blessing and a curse for a lot of people because Kobe mentality is, if you shot 20 times and you went 4 for 20, you didn't shoot enough.
Yep.
You should have been 4 for 30. And guys are taking that to heart. And so they just keep shooting. And he says, hold on, bro. Instead of taking that 4 shot with 2-3 guys on you, how about kick the ball and you might be able to get it back, but somebody's in position to get a better shot. Jaylen Brown was 10 of 18, 5 of 8, 3 of 4, 28. He was plus. Jason Tatum was minus 24. So I think that's the frustration, Skip. I think this is something that you keep behind closed doors, Skip, because you remember, Skip, in the playoffs, Michael Porter Jr. said the exact same thing in the playoff game about Jamal Murray and Yoke shooting all the shots, and they had to pull him aside, and the head coach like, yeah, hey, guess what? And they're going to continue to shoot all the shot. Keep your mouth closed. And so I think this is just the frustration. Season's not going quite the way they envisioned it. And this is what happened. But he's right. But be right behind closed doors. Don't let this stuff become public.
Not only was he right, but I believe he was right to take a public stand, because I agree with you. From what I know of Marcus Smart, he'd already made his feelings clear in the locker room behind closed doors. And he is a veteran leader of this team, 8 years into the NBA. And he is a starter for this team. And this team is off to a horrendous start. They've lost their first 3 home games for the first time in franchise history.
Wow.
And I'm a big fan of the new coach of the Celtics, but I don't love where this is heading for his sake. Ime Udoka, who was Pop's right-hand man through all the dynasty years. And I was so happy he got this job with this team, still kind of on the verge. I don't love the team because I've never loved Jason Tatum.
Got some young talent, Skip.
It's pretty good, and it's going nowhere slowly. And last night, they hit bottom in the fourth quarter because in the shot clock era, no team has ever led by 14 or more going to the fourth quarter and lost by 14 or more points, and they just pulled that feed off. And the way it happened was what you said. You get out-rebounded in a quarter, 16-3. 16-3? How do you do that?
I don't know.
And you go 0 for 8 from 3, while the Bulls are really good. They're sort of the surprise of the NBA so far. And they're good on both ends. They play defense.
They do.
And they make 3 of 6 threes and made 13 of 16 shots, and you make 5 of 23, and you lose the fourth quarter 39 to 11?
I've never seen anything like
39 to 11 on your home floor?
Not a fourth quarter.
So, look, what do we know about Marcus? Well, he's raw proud, and he can be hot-headed.
Right.
And Yet when I watched him say this after the game, he didn't seem hot-headed.
No, he was very calm. He was very calm. And he's like, we've had this conversation. And, it wasn't like he was just like.
Nope, he wasn't.
Calm, speaking like, okay.
He was speaking like a leader would speak.
Yes.
And he basically summed it up by saying, and I'm paraphrasing the quote, I can't do much just standing in the corner.
Right.
Well, most of the night he's just standing there like, I'm open.
And the thing was, Kobe was able to take tough, contested shots, and he can make them. And I think the thing is what he's instilled. You hear Skip, you hear everybody, mama mentality. But unless you're and Kobe's style early on rubbed a lot of his teammates the wrong way.
Yep.
And that's what people just look at the 5 championships and they look at the end results.
Yep.
But you're not Michael. Mm-hmm. Michael could ostracize his teammates. Kobe could do that. It's a different era, guys. Guys are not going to just stand around and let you shoot 35 shots a game while they just stand in the corner and be cool with it. It's a different era. It's a different time now. And things that flew with Michael, things that flew with Kobe, you just can't think just because, they talked to me and they instilled in me and they told me to do this. They're like, Kobe told you to do that? Well, okay, I'm cool with it because Kobe was cool with me. And people like, man, you missed me with that. Hey, I want to participate also. I get it. But guess what? You can get an easier shot. You swing the ball to me.
Yep.
Now I do something, put the ball on the floor. They're going to come to me. I kick it back to you. Instead of you taking a shot with 2 or 3 on you, now you get an opportunity to go one-on-one.
Yep.
Or get a wide open shot.
Okay.
That's what Marcus is trying to say. It's just that, Skip, when you are a team sport and you say something that's going to be viewed as criticism in a public setting.
Yep.
And now, I'm sure Udoka is going to have a conversation with the guys. We're a family. We need to keep our stuff in-house.
Yeah.
And it's going to go from there. But I get his frustration, Marcus Smart's frustration. When you lose, Skip, it's like, damn, we supposed to be better than this.
Okay, so Kobe's protege, Jason Tatum, in the fourth quarter went 1 of 8 and 0 for 3 from 3. And Jaylen Brown didn't shoot that much. He took 2 shots, but he missed them both.
Right.
So Jason Tatum scored 2 and Jaylen scored none in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Well, that's how you lose 39-11 because they are your 2 biggest guns. They are your 2 stud star, all-star caliber players.
And Jaylen Brown had 28 points through 3 quarters.
He did.
I mean, think about it, Skip. At that point, he was 10 of 16.
Yep.
He had missed 6 shots.
So this whole situation is so desperate right now that I thought Marcus Smart was actually within his rights to go DEFCON 1 on it because you just got to call everybody out and hope that it all comes out and that you can all readdress it in private today, to your point, and maybe it will somehow reunite or unify the team a little bit where they all look in the mirror and say, okay, yeah, I got to do better than that.
But, Skip, when you look at this team, I get it. Jason Tatum is an all-star. Jaylen Brown is an all-star. Al Horford is a former all-star. Skip, I get all that. But when we look at this team, do you see championship? I see a good basketball team. I don't see championship.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're not superstars.
They're not.
You win with superstars.
I've said this especially about Jason Tatum. He's a good player. He's a very good player, but he's not a great player.
No.
And you can't trust him always to be there to score the points when you need that shot made.
You might can win a championship, Skip, with a superstar and some very good players like Giannis. I don't think Chris Middleton's a superstar. I don't think Holiday's a superstar. I think they're very good. Giannis is a superstar. James Harden, Kevin Durant are superstars.
Yep.
I think you can win with that. But these are just good players. I don't see how you win a championship with the team the way they constructed. Well, they're going to end up getting off one of these guys.
You don't think a whole lot of Dennis Schroeder, and he's now a Celtic, right? Okay.
Hey, and just think, the Lakers had $21 million on the table for him.
Mm-hmm. They did.
He'll never see that again.
I like Aaron Nesmith from Vanderbilt University, and he can shoot it, and I like Peyton Pritchard, but they're not. None of these players are going to get you over the top.
Did you see what Trez called the man? Trez told the man on the other day he was trash.
Which man?
Schroeder.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing him. He said, you trash, bro. We just play. We teammates, and I call you trash. Caruso he tried to shoot a shot at Caruso. Get that out of here. You cost us last year. You think I'm going to let you get a shot up now?
Well, Here come the Bulls, and there go the Celtics.
Skip, the Bulls look good because they're good defensively. You look at Lonzo Ball, you look at Caruso, you look at Derrick Jones. DeMar DeRozan can play defense.
He can.
I mean, they
get after
Vucevic.
Yep.
They got a nice defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
They got a nice overall ball club, Skip. Now, I'm not saying they're about to come out the East now, but I'm saying I think they can probably be a 3rd or 4th seed.
6-1 already.
Yeah.
Celtics 2-5. Yikes.
That'll get you called out being 2-5.
Yep.
It'll get you called out by your teammates. 2-5. Skip.
That's correct.
Well, speaking of tensions on teams, is there actually tension brewing among Skip's Cowboys?
No
We have an
tension.
interesting story from their win over the Vikings.
It's good tension.
I'm not making more of this. We got to talk about it next.